To close, we think that the street will be fully paved and striped, probably like about the beginning of the second week in April. So they're starting to finish curbing, this Friday, and they should start line marking first of next week and then pave it to soon follow. So we're gonna have a gym that's gonna be in our, city county. It's gonna be a big improvement, so we've come a long way with that. The open space project, was bid out, it's scheduled to start probably about the 25th of April. Worth Construction was the one that received the bid, and they're going to replace all of these sewer mains from behind the homes of occupants, put it in the middle of the street, and we're also looking to upgrade water lines while we're out there too. So a gravity flow system will go from the south to the north on MLK, and be fed into a manhole that will end up at that railroad station. We got today the Scott grant for ER Scott Drive and College Loop. So I want to meet with county staff probably the next couple of days to see how we approach that. If you remember, DOT will only allow us to pave as opposed to the parking. And if you remember the overall scheme of things, there was some parking that wanted to be attended to. So I don't know how we approach that, but I do know we've got the money for paving. I want to say the award was about $346,000. So we're going to hopefully do some good with that. ER Scott is the other one that's also received today. That street received $426,000 for paving. There are manholes there too, so some work on infrastructure got to be done too. So a lot of good things are happening. Just wanted to bring you up to speed on it and make sure that you are.
Thank you very much.
Any questions? No, thank you.
Appreciate that, Jerome.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lord Jones.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madison County. Y'all say it with pride. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms.
Jones. That's what I wanna hear. Okay. I'm reporting on some people in Madison County that you all need to be aware of. I talked with about 3 of the commissioners quickly about it. It's some people that's suffering that shouldn't be in Madison County, because I've been here for some time in Belgrade. It's a man, I won't call his name. He was working at Pilgrim Pride. And all of a sudden they found that he had something, a growth on his lungs, and had surgery. And from that surgery, he cannot work. We have tried every method that I know how to try as a farm extension agent. There's no help. What he needs money. And I'll say everybody needs money, but he's in serious trouble, and it's a group been taking care of him. He needs money for transportation to the doctor's office. He needs the most important appointment in Tallahassee for prostrate. And I couldn't take it because I had another appointment. He needs gas in his car for transporting to different places like a laundromat, which he needs detergent and money to go in the machines and all that. He needs care supplies. He needs money for utility. There's a group been doing excellent buying, but I think that you all should know this. He needs money for his utility, insurance, and cell phone. You say, why cell phone? Because he has a lawyer that's trying to get him on disability, and he been turned down several times. He might need money for rent. So Why am I telling you all this? Because these are people who vote, they're registered voters, and there's another, young lady who needed help, but we think we got her on the right road. And there's another person that was homeless, but we trying to get his ID so that he can get in his apartment. There's problems out there among people in Madison County. So, if you can, try to find some way of helping the people. I say in your district, but just helping people period. When there's a need, and this is a need. We did, for the Salvation Army, thank you all so much for ringing the bells for the Salvation Army. We received $4,100 for the Salvation Army, but we not over it like as in the past. What happened is with Swan River Economic Council, but they only meet here 3 times a week, when they want to come. I don't know, don't put that in the paper, but I don't know about it. But anyway, this young man really needs help, and what you all need, I suggest if it's some way possible, we have a lot of people say help, but it's limited help. It's limited help to what? Well, he got food stamps, but he got food. But that's it's certain foods he can buy, he can't buy no toilet tissue and all of that. So if you all can find in your heart to try to some way organize a community funds where people can go to it to get help, because where it won't be limited. Just limited to certain things. Let it be open to everything that a person needs in Madison County. If you want to, you can contribute to Mr. John because it's the first of the month and he needs money. But he's gonna be taken care of because Jesus said the poor gonna be with us always. And I'm poor, and he's poor, but we have to give to the poor to help the poor. Is that 5 minutes? Okay. And I'm sincere, we need to help this young man. And we are Christians. If we're not Christian, anyone wanna ask a question?
Ms. Jones, is this individual by any chance a veteran?
Sir,
Is this individual a veteran?
no. That's why I wish he was a veteran. He's not a veteran. And what happened, he's sort of limited. When I say he's limited, he can't think like you. He can think, he's just slow. And that's why you have to help him, go that last mile with him. Anything.
Thank you.
As far as transportation, Big Bend Transit is our service provider here in the
Yes,
county.
Big Ben service, but he needs money for that. Everything is money with him. And that's the key here, is the money. And someone recommended to a place in Tallahassee, we contact that place and they never did call. Let's say that he could get help. So if you know someone that's it. That's the key to it. Now, Christian, we got to help these people.
Thank you, Judge. We'll move on now to the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting held March 13th, 2019.
Mr. Chair, the minutes for March 13th are gonna have to be moved into the next meeting. They weren't ready for the meeting to be put on, so.
We will
didn't go ahead and bring them.
move that to the, that'll be the meeting of the tenth.
Yes,
of
sir.
April.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Constitutional officers, sheriff.
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I've got a couple things, at your places there, I put in front of you the, statement of revenues and expenditures. Just of note, if you look at the very first page, it's got the total revenues estimated and what's collected in the general fund this is through February 28th. You go to the last column, you see in the middle of the page, general revenue fund, we've collected about 65% of our anticipated revenue so far through the first 5 months. You flip back to where the expenditures tab is. On that page there, it says the total for general revenue fund, that's expenditures out of the general revenue fund, we've expended about 46%. That's just of note. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Visit me in my office. If you want to see more information, I can get you more information. I just wanted to present that to you for information. The other thing is that the insurance committee met on Monday, thank you. My whole week has been messed up. I thought Thursday, it was Thursday all day yesterday. So we met Monday and we discussed with, Brown and Brown, some different options we'd like to see in, as far as, plan configurations go. And those options were things like different, out-of-pocket, different coverages, different, deductibles, those kind of things. They're gonna come back to the insurance committee with, some different options and what the pricing of those options would look like. So when we get that from the insurance committee, we'll certainly present to you. Also this past week, on the insurance note, I was informed by the Health Insurance Consortium that Madison County would be receiving back $48,872 from health insurance. So, all this time we've been in this consortium, we've never gotten money back from it. This year, we're actually getting almost $49,000 back. It would be my recommendation to the board that they recommend to the insurance committee that we come up with ideas for what to do with that $48,000, how, if there's incentive programs, whatever it is that you guys might wanna see. And, at our next insurance committee meeting, we'll discuss and come back, and that money's just gonna be earmarked and sit there. It's not gonna do anything, so there's no, real hurry to do anything with it. That's what I'm saying, to give us some time to come up with some recommendations. It's not something that I'm just asking for y'all's instruction there. And that's it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All right, we will move on to, on the consent agenda. Looks like we are actually blank there. That's good. Unfinished business, review and possible approval of agreement between Madison County and the City of Madison for the building official and inspection services. Mr. Rick, come right forward.
All right. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
A couple of weeks ago, we briefly went over the interlocal agreement. You've got a copy of it. I will summarize it very briefly. It's an agreement for building official, building inspection services for the City of Madison to be provided by the county department that does that now, which is my department. The fee to the city to do that is $2,500 per month. The revenues received for permits is gonna be returned to the city on a monthly basis. We've worked out the details on how to do those things. The initial term of the agreement is for 6 months for the rest of the fiscal year. This agreement would start on Monday, and we are prepared to do that. It would go for the rest of the fiscal year in the first term, and after that it would be 1 year automatic renewals unless it's canceled. And that's kind of the nuts and bolts of the whole thing. We're gonna do everything for the city that we do for the county right now. So all those services, the one thing that was highlighted in here is the inspections of possible nuisance structures where the city is going in and trying to deal with some of those nuisance structures, and we're gonna assist them in that process. Mr. Weiss, should I leave anything else?
Well, sir, I think you covered it all. I'm
Okay.
just grateful, for the opportunity to partner.
Okay.
And make
makes that life a little easier.
I think it's good for both of us. Do you, any of you gentlemen have any questions about it?
I would just ask if the attorney had any comments on it.
No, sir, I think it's a good agreement, and I would just draw your attention on, paragraph 9. Either party can terminate on 90 days written notice, so you're not locked in long-term. You can certainly approve it and, kind of see how it works, and if there's a problem, you do have a 90-day ability to get out of it, so.
Rick, when you talk about nuisance, you talking about like housing that is in deplorable shape, need to be demolished, you talking about some buildings maybe that need to be.
Exactly. Exactly. And declaring them unstable,
Mhm.
not fit to be lived in, some of those kind of things, and it's really a structural issue for us.
Sure.
It helps with the process that's required by the city to declare it a nuisance property, and that's what we're gonna help with.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve this agreement.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this agreement. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna move on down to item number 1, under new business, public hearing for the transmittal of land sale and use of comprehensive, plan amendment. Ms. Reeves, you covering that, or?
No, that's.
This is a application that, excuse me, was submitted by Mr. Floyd. This is a large-scale land use amendment. This is for 2 parcels of property that he owns. And he's applying to change the land use on both parcels from conservation to Ag 2. Because this is a large-scale land use amendment, it does require 3 public hearings. The first one was held with planning and zoning. There is a memo in your packet that discusses planning and zoning recommendation. This is the first public hearing before y'all. This is what's referred to as a transmittal hearing. And the second and final public hearing, where you would actually adopt the ordinance to change the land use, would be at the April 10th meeting.
And so, Mr. Chairman, you should open it up for public comment.
Yes, any public comment, to be made, please come forward. Hearing none, any other from the commissioner, any other call for questions?
Read the motion, then we'll go first.
No, we don't.
Motion this time.
It's just informational, and you'll actually take action on it at the next.
Yeah,
We've had that 2 readings, so.
right. We have to have 3, so
Okay.
this is our second one. All right. Hearing none, we'll need to get on this one on the 10th of April. All right. I'll move back up to, Public Works. Review of possible approval for the bids on the, tandem drive motor grader. Thigpen, step forward. I think you and Mr. Blair are gonna take up this whole section.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
We have one grader this year is up for return on the 5-year buyback, lease program that we have in place. We bid out a replacement machine. We received 3 bids for that machine. One from Beard Equipment Company, which has, John Deere Model 620G, one from Ring Power, which has a Model 120 Caterpillar machine, and a Trekker Tractor LLC, which has a case model 856C. You should have a spreadsheet in your packet. It has the annual, we ask for an annual lease payment for these, is what we typically do with the machines nowadays. We've been doing this for a few years now. The John Deere from Beard Equipment was $26,283.83. That's 1 payment in advance. That would be 5 payments, 1 for each year. The Ring Power Caterpillar machine was $29,746.04. That would also be paid in advance, 5 annual payments. The Trekker Tractor for the case machine, They give us a monthly, rental rate for $3,530.76. I did contact the salesman, and we can make, monthly payments, or we can make yearly payments. It's the same thing, there's no difference in the amount. So if you multiply that times 12, the annual payment for it is $42,369.12. So it would be my recommendation to go with the John Deere machine for $26,283.83.
That's my motion, Mr. Chairman.
So,
I have a motion second to, accept State Ben's recommendation. Any discussion for the look?
And that's the
That's
one.
Beard equipment.
I'm sorry, that is the low bid.
Beard,
That's correct.
Beard equipment.
Beard equipment, the
Yeah.
John Deere machine.
Yes, John Deere machine from Beard Equipment.
Yes.
All right. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, 5-0. All right, I'm gonna let you jump on down to, number 3 and 4, since you're already up there, Mr. Thickman.
Yes, sir. We discussed briefly, at the last meeting, whether to put mill asphalt or to pave Armadillo Trail over off of Willie D's Road, which is located off of off of, Little Cat Road.
Okay.
I did contact, Anderson Columbia. I don't think we've got enough of mill asphalt on hand to do the job. It would probably take about 400 tons. You need to put 5 or 6 inches of mill asphalt if you're gonna do it, with any success. Anderson Columbia has a job, should be an email from them. They have a job coming up on Highway 90 shortly, over in Swanee County, within the next month or two. If we take our dump trucks over and pick it up as they dig it up off the road, we can, obtain that mill asphalt for $10 per ton. If they haul it to the site with their dump trucks, it'll be $15 a ton. So at the top of that email, I took the $400, at $10 would be $4,000 for the whole road. If you had them to haul it to us, it would be about $6,000. I contacted the Scruggs Company, which is doing the paving on, a lot of our roads that the county is having, paved now. There is an email from them to pick up the milled asphalt at their plant in Valdosta was $22 per ton. If they haul it to us, would be an additional $6.50 per ton, so it would be $28.50. The same 400 tons at $22 would be $8,800 if we hauled it with our equipment. They haul it to us would be $11,400. Since they're paving Flowers Road, I did get them to go in and give me a quote for paving that, what we have there, it's about 14 foot wide. If they could do it while they're doing Flowers Road, and they'll probably start paving it tomorrow, they should finish it this week, if they don't have any problems. They give me a price to put 2 inches of asphalt on that road for $17,000. So, it's up to you guys.
And, just to clarify, if, Anderson Columbia job in Swanee County, that was gonna cost us, you said 16 if they brought it, 14 if.
No, sir. If we go and pick up the mill asphalt from, Anderson Columbia, it would cost $4,000 for us to haul it with our equipment.
Oh, okay.
If they haul it to us, it would cost $6,000. For Scruggs to pave it while they're in the area, it was $17,000 to put 2 inches of hot mix. It would be a regular paved road, it's not
Yeah.
ground up asphalt.
I realize in that, we have been milling that in the past. And
It has
it
milled
does
asphalt
well,
now,
and
yes.
it has washed out.
Yes,
Do you have any recollection as to how many times we've milled that road?
I believe it was just once, I could be mistaken, but typically, once you put several layers, it tends to get up a lot higher than the surrounding area, so I'm thinking it's only been one time, but it's been many years ago.
Well, I know that, Mr. King, contacted me because the washouts are getting so bad and they're driving, people that are living down the hill on Armadillo.
Yes.
Down near the cul-de-sac are driving over on his property to
Yes.
avoid that, and so.
And that's one thing with the mill asphalt, once it develops the potholes, you go in and patch it with patching material, and then they get holes in it, and you're patching patches, and, this kind of gets worse.
If we,
Difficult to do something.
depending, milling or paving, getting, Scruggs to, pave it, where were we taking that money from?
I guess that's up to the clerk and you guys. I mean, we've got some funds in construction in progress, but that depletes, what we typically save for the end of the year in case we have a storm or something. I know our road material is
If I
running.
can,
Yeah.
if I can, where's this road at on our priority list?
I don't know that it is on a priority list as far as any paving, is it? Do you,
I
Steve,
don't
know?
believe it is.
No, it's not.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's just, we had a complaint, and
We-
since we
yeah.
were paving in the area, you avoid a lot of the mobilization. I did the figures, it'll cost about $15,000 just for the asphalt itself. So they're charging about $2,000 just to move their equipment down the road to do it while they're in the area. Instead of, I don't know, it'll be much more
I
than
just think we
$2,000.
deviate from our priority list and our plan for paving, now what we're doing is open up a Pandora's box. If we got money left over, I've got paving being done in my district, and I've got roads that need paved in my district too, that are crumbling and in bad shape. I'm sorry, but that's.
No, they're not.
I think we have a priority list that we kinda go by to, the cost of the maintenance of the roads, the number of people that live on the roads, how much expense we got, all that stuff goes into a plan that we have, and I think if we deviate from that plan, then we might as well throw the priority list out the window.
How long is, Armadillo Trail?
I believe it's about 850 feet. I think I've got my notes.
No, that's about right.
It's just a little short dead end ring. Yes, sir, it's 850 foot. We measured.
Yeah, last time I looked at the, priority list, I don't think it was on there, but, since they are in the area, might not be a bad thing to do. But I understand your concern.
They're paving in my area too.
Right,
I'm just
well,
saying.
I think every area getting some attention, but, like I said, I indicated this, constituent that I would bring it to the board attention, see what costs were, and also I asked Mr. Lottie to do his figure and see what the cost was of milling versus paving, see where we were on this. So, pleasure of the board.
Where are we as far as the, entire paving project? Is Flowers gonna be the last one to be paved?
It won't be for the year, but for the Gross Company, it will be. Anderson Columbia has two state-funded projects, Donaldson Road and Overstreet Road, Greenville, but that's not the county-funded project.
Right.
But, the Gross Company got all those bids except for one.
Right.
Dennis Music Construction got one Clover over in Lee. But Flowers would be the last paving. They got a little bit of extras to finish up at Cheer Lake, they plan to do that while they're here.
Mr. Lottie, you got 4,000 if we haul the lime rock or the milling, and 6,000 if they bring it. I was thinking, I didn't realize it was gonna be in Suwannee County. Would it be advantageous for us if we go with the milling to let them haul it, or can we save money if we do it ourselves? Or where in Suwannee County is this job at? So I guess what I'm trying to say.
I believe he told me they're gonna start at state line and go towards Live Oak, and I forget how far they were gonna go. But, it depends on how you look at it. If we got to,
Mr. Chair, if I can ask a question.
Sure.
If we're talking about milling, then you've got funds in your regular budget to do that. Is that
I
right?
can. I mean, we got money in construction and property.
But if you're talking about paving,
Yeah,
then
but-
you're talking about using our funds that's set aside for our paper projects. Is that correct?
That would be my preference, but the clerk controls the money,
Well, yeah,
I'll take the money.
you are talking two different funds, if you do the milling versus the paving, that's true.
How many people are on this road? How many residents?
Well, the property goes by, Linda Glenn King's, it goes down as 1, 2, 3, what,
4 Drive,
I know there's one at the end of the cul-de-sac.
2 or either 3 more at the end in Metro.
There's either
Is it a
5.
dead end road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dead end road. It's right over there next to right next to Mr. Reeves' property there, where Mr. Reeves, we just on the east side of Mr. Reeves. I think there's six houses in there.
I think that's right.
Yeah, that's on top.
Payment's a pretty good price for 6 homes.
And if it ain't on the paper, then.
No, it's not on prior list, and I doubt, well, I'm gonna say it won't be on prior list, but I would say it'd be down the road.
And you said it's gonna cost $2,000 just to mobilize the equipment to feed it?
Well, that was just my assessment, you know, I did the figures for the amount of asphalt, they didn't tell me that, they just gave me a lump sum price for $17,000.
Lonnie, how much would it, is the whole road messed up, or just a spot in, or two messed up?
It's,
Pretty well messed up.
yeah, it needs something done to it, it's just like a lot of our other mill asphalt roads, I got another email I got from a lady down on Jim Clark Road that's having the same issues. That's why I try to discourage as much as I can, the mill asphalt road, they're like a temporary Band-Aid. They really, after a few years, you know, cause us more problem than it helps, because once you get to that point where you're patching patches, it's very difficult to do anything with it to actually fix it without paving it.
So, Mr. Chair, at the rate we're going now, do you think we have a little bit of money left over from our borrowed funds, Mr. Clerk?
I would have to come back to you with that answer. I wouldn't know off the top of my head.
Well, I know we have another couple project or two we want to keep on burner reference, the Ag Center, so we've got to hold back on some of that.
Well, that's gonna come from the city, isn't it? With Scott, funds from the city, the
I'm
ag.
talking about-
Or parking lots.
Come out, parking lot.
Yeah, we're talking about two different roads now.
Okay.
Well, you've got College Loop, and then you've got the one that we're talking about where we purchased a property from Ms. Waring, coming into the Ag Center.
Okay, I got you.
So,
Okay, let's put it to rest. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and allow the construction to take place on Armadillo Trail, not to exceed 17,000.
You talking about to actually pay it?
Actual pay. That's my motion, Mr. Chair.
all right, I have a motion, I have a second. Great, I feel like a second.
Okay.
Any other motion? Mr. Thigpen, let me ask you, on the milling, when you go in to do a milling or on that kind of road, that situation, do you go in and grade first and then put the milling on that, or is that just go in and mill it right where it is?
The prices I've got is just with milling itself, we would probably just, you know, put the milling over the top of what's there.
Okay.
If you wanted to take that milling out, and I don't know, other than, you know, you just increase the height of the
Well,
road, if you keep adding to it. If you go in and remove what's there, then that'd be an additional cost for us.
Sure.
Mr. Chair, if I may, how much right of way do you have?
I don't think we actually have any right of way, but
See, that's
the
another issue.
road is about 14 foot wide, it's there.
Yeah.
I would just recommend if you need to go in there and rebuild the road, I mean, I don't know what expense that is, but if it needs to be reworked and recrowned, and either you put the milling or you put the lime rock on it and compact it in and fix the road. And, you know, go from there. So I'm sure if you put my lime rock in, not lime rock, but milling in right now, it's already caving into those spots, those definitely need to be fixed before you know, you can try to put that back on.
Well, that's the problem, I don't know how you can fix that. You know, the
Have
holes
to
that are
pull it
there.
off and, I don't know.
It's substantial enough now, if you pave over top of it, you know, everything blends together, and you got enough of base, instead of putting in lime rock, you use mill asphalt that's there for paving. But, you know, whether you tear that milling up and put new milling into place, or you pave over what's there, I don't think you'll accomplish a lot, other than the height of the road. what's there is bonded together pretty good, it's just getting potholes in. We've had problems in the past, it doesn't bond together real well, and rub board's like sand. And that's my concern, we may put milling on it, and it'd be, 2 years from now, maybe worse than it is now. We spent $4,000 and we're worse off than we were when we started.
Well, I guess the other issue too is that entire road goes downhill.
Correct, it is on.
It is on a slope going downhill.
Yes.
And that, when you get a hard rain like we've had recently, and several months back, you would wash it out pretty bad.
You know, it'd probably be a good thing to not put no more online, but, before we start budget time, them type of roads that's like that, maybe make a note of them, and then maybe we can put more money in your budget to handle stuff like that, so
Yes, sir.
issues like that can always be popping up.
All right, thank you, Mr. Klein, on that one. You wanna go on to number 4 while you're up?
So we're gonna leave it like it is?
I guess, is that the pleasure of the board, or you just gonna leave it?
I didn't get a second on the motion.
Nope. Well, unless you wanna do just milling.
I think if that's within this budget to operate to fix the road, you can do that without our direction to fix the road.
Okay.
I
You
mean,
want-
am I correct?
Can we, yeah, is that's
That's within
correct?
this budget to operate and fix the road, fix it. The best you can.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna fix it, I can do that.
Yeah.
All right, if you can help fix it some, that would be good. Let's do it. Let's leave it at that. Is that agreeable with the board?
I don't have a problem with Mr. Chair.
Okay.
And if you can't fix it, well, you just have to leave it until
Well, right.
you get it on.
So we
I mean, I can put the mill asphalt there, that's not the issue.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna fix the road, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I think it's a matter of how many years it, it's, yeah.
But then again, if they don't fix it, they don't need to put it on there.
Well,
You know?
I think it was done before. I think it'll fix it for several years. I think the question is, paving it would last, yeah, I guess what Lonnie's trying to say is paving it, is, we need to have it on priority list, but if it gets paved, then you're talking about maybe, not going to fool with 20 years versus milling maybe, I don't know what, 5 years, 10 years.
It depends.
I don't know.
We've had some
And-
last for years, and we've had some that give us problems right away. And you can't tell what the difference is. We tried compacting it different, and
Yeah.
it just,
Well, I think the problem's gonna be the priority list, so seeing on that kind of road with a few people as well as the location, but, I would say if you can do some work on it, try to fix it some way. It may not last 2 or 3 years, but, we'll see what we'll do. Is that agreeable?
Do the best you can, so.
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Lon.
Yes, sir.
All right, on the renewal of the extension for, pricing and contract Jenkins.
Yes, sir, we do a yearly renewal, we do a yearly contract with Jenkins Payne for, well, this is not, the roads that we contract out, they have their own, usually they use Jenkins, but they get their own people to paint. But if we do any striping of our own, and that's some of what we use the construction in progress for, we get a price from him every year to renew that contract. Due to some of the increase in